and welcome back to the channel. Foo. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you like videos like this.
Because even in, Back to the Future, 9/11 was in Back to the Future.
Yeah, it was. The, what they call it? The Twin Pines?
So the Twin Pines Mall.
Yeah.
So when Marty McFly goes to see Doc, it's the Twin Pines Mall at 1:16 a.m. You flip that around, what do you get?
9/11.
9/11. But then when he comes back again at the end of the movie to try to stop Doc from getting killed, it's the Lone Pine Mall. Because when the towers fell, what stands now? Just one single tower.
What I wonder is just like, does anybody ever ask like the writers any questions? Like that, we need to sit down with like the writers.
Sit down.
I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah, because even in, Back to the Future, where he sends his dog 1 minute into time. So they show the watches right before he sends his dog to skip over 1 minute. It's 1:19. Flip it again. And you get 9/11.
9/11 again.
How do you do that in one sitting?
Medellin, Colombia. We found a UFO. And I'm gonna zoom into it.
Bro, my food is gonna burn.
Where is it at?
Bro, they gonna say this shit like.
It's right here. It's right here. Okay.
Different. It's about to go through the clouds soon.
Nah, that's a hot air balloon. Fuck no. That shit.
No, it's not no hot air balloon.
A hot air balloon.
A diamond shape. Bro, what the fuck is that?
Yo, that's not a balloon. That's too big to be.
Bro, that's like a diamond shape.
Look at that shit. That's a perfect shape. Bro, you gotta keep it.
Bro, what is that? It's like rotating.
It's rotating?
Yes, look.
It's just, it's not like flipping like a bag.
If a homeless guy has the same idea, they call him crazy.
That's the back door to the secret nightclub off the train tracks. If you guys didn't know, here at Dundas Station, there's a secret nightclub and it's located right here. The door is here.
There's no subway service on portion of line 2 between Jane and Pickle Station.
See, that's where the secret nightclub is, guys.
Why the in the trunk?
That's why, man, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I'm over here. Yeah, this let me out. This
Are you in it?
huh? They just put me in here. That's
Who put you in?
the
what?
The people. Yeah, I'm like, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. Just look.
Way more surprise.
So a man known for exploring abandoned buildings and posting his explorations online was inside of one day when he ran across something that really freaked him out. Even after the incident, he goes back to the area to reconfirm what just happened. Check out the clip real quick.
This place is so wet. Oh, you scared the out of me. Yo. You need some help, bro? Yo. Dad, he's not even responding. I'm gonna leave him alone. Get the out of his way.
Now, assuming that that's just a squatter, without the creator's flashlight, it would be pitch black dark down there. So how would that guy move around or know where he even is in the first place? Now, a little after the situation, the guy who created the video goes back in an attempt to help him out, give him some money, but something even stranger happens. Check it out and keep in mind that it is pitch black dark down there without the flashlight.
I'm gonna help that dude out. I'm gonna get this dude a $20 bill. Yo. Hey, I got some money for you. He's not there.
Well, I remember actually going to the moon base. So there is a moon base. It's hollow. Yep. It's artificial structure. It's come from another part of the galaxy, transporting other ET races here. We flew there. Now, the transportation was interesting at the time. We were catapulted it's like a tube, and there was no propulsion. We were slingshotted from the gravity of Earth to the gravity of the moon. We hooked it and then came in. We landed on the far side of the moon. We came into a base where the door was open. We went inside. Now, once we're inside, that's when things got interesting. That's when we started to have our integration. Now, we'd already had a little bit of integration with little grays. Little grays had come in. We'd learned more telepathy from them, some other skills that they taught us, how to work with looking glass technology and so forth. Now we're actually going to work with big grays, the large grays. So the large grays are, I look at the little grays as basically being cloned little slaves, unfortunately. And they basically do whatever they're told to do. The large grays are thinkers. They're the ones that are proactive, have free will, like we have free will, and they're working with us. So they were kind of standoffish to us because, you know, we're not advanced. And that's the way it was. Really, all the different ETs that we saw in there, and I saw many different types. They usually had their own areas inside there. We had our own area. There's large cities inside the moon, and different size cities throughout the moon.
So no one noticed the pillar placement.
Did you see that? This ain't fashion. This ain't fashion. What kind of outfit is this, Gunner? Because the people are concerned. That's what they're saying. They're concerned about this outfit, and it doesn't look like drip. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Oh, and he's pointing that finger up to the sky. We all know what that means. Matter of fact, let's get a closer look at this outfit. What does this mean, Gunner? You could have chose anything else. Why you want to choose skeletons? Why? Oh, you know why. He's down with the club. The club that you can't get into unless you follow certain rules and regulations. And that's why they keep on doing things like this. They don't care what we think about it. They have to do it. You think when Gunner shows up to these shows, he's setting things up like this? Nah, it's already set up like that. Long and behold, what the hell is this, bro? Ah! What is this? And I think you know what this is because I showed you before. And everybody showed you and everybody told you, but let's not forget, guys, this is just hip hop. Every show, everything is a dark theme. What happened to light? What happened to the light? These people like to be in darkness. Bro, there's no lights in there. Take the shades off, homie. They can't. You see, they can't show you their eyes for some reason. Very interesting. But of course, this video is for entertainment purposes only, and Gunner's the best. His music is fire. And this outfit, even better. I don't know. Let me know. I'm out.
So there's this crazy mushroom that reliably makes you see tiny cartoon people. Not random stuff, specifically 2 centimeter tall humans marching around your actual environment and interacting with stuff. One professor in China described lifting his tablecloth during dinner to find hundreds of these little dudes marching like soldiers. When he lifted it higher, their heads stuck to the underside of the cloth while their bodies kept marching in place. What's even crazier is that people across totally different cultures report the exact same hallucination. Papua New Guinea, China, Philippines, different countries, different languages, but everyone sees the same tiny people doing similar things. That's way too oddly specific to be a coincidence. So scientists have analysed the mushroom and found 0 known psychoactive compounds. No psilocybin, nothing. So whatever chemical makes you see little people is completely unknown to science. Right now they're feeding it to mice trying to find out what the hell is in there. Interestingly, a 1700-year-old Chinese text mentions a flesh spirit mushroom that, when eaten raw, allows you to see a little person and attain transcendence immediately. So have humans been tripping on this throughout history? This mushroom was sold in markets for decades before scientists even identified the species in 2014. We still don't know how it works in 2025. Makes you wonder what else is out there just waiting for someone to notice.
Are they all tripping? Or is the veil just thinning?
So even the Star of David, that was never a symbol for Judaism until Sebastian Sebai, 1666. This is when he declared himself the Messiah. And that symbol is actually from Solomon. They believe that it has mystic powers. Prior to that, it was the Kiddush cup that represented Judaism. So if you go on Wikipedia, it'll tell you that. It's Kabbalistic. So they're wearing the Star of David. The Jews that I went to school with, do I think that they're practicing orgies? No, of course not. The Reformed Jews are not doing that I went to school with. They're being told, you wear this because the Holocaust happened and you should love this symbol. It's a symbol of who you are. And I am challenging them to learn more because it does go back to Baal worship. You're exactly correct when you say that. They don't know that no more than I knew things about Black history. You know what you're told. We have to all become more studious on the topic of theology is what I think.
What you're looking at is, again, the medical condition known as hydroencephaly. And believe me, the National Institute of Health, the AMA, none of them like to talk about this. And if you do a little research on it, they'll tell you that, most people with this condition never make it past 1 year old. That's a lie. Because I have actual brain scans of people in their 50s with this medical condition here. They're just as brilliant as you and I. They're just as spiritual as you and I. But this is what they're walking around with inside of their head, right? They have no physical brain whatsoever, only the brain stem. Yet they can see through the third eye. How is that possible? The entire inner ears are gone, but they can still hear physically and telepathically. How is that possible? Right? They can read books and retain information. How is that possible with no physical brain whatsoever? Now you can see why the government don't like to talk about this specific subject here. But watch this. Let's go further down the rabbit hole. Here's another image, right, of a teenager with the same condition. You notice the brain is completely gone. But this kid was an honor roll student. Here's another of a much younger child, right? And you can see all he has is the brain stem. That is it. But he's another honor roll student. Now, how do you explain this? Well, here's what I can tell you. Inside of the cerebral spinal fluid, believe it or not, is a holographic brain. And that old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, is true, right? These people are directly attuned to their holographic brain. So the physical brain, they don't even have one, they don't need one. The holographic brain is there. But if you drain the fluid, the person instantly dies. Now, what does the holographic brain look like? And is there any proof of this? Yes, there's tons of proof. Here are depictions of the 7 light bodies, right? Now, the etheric body here is as close to the physical body as you can get. This is essentially your twin. So you hear that everybody has a twin. This is literally your twin. This here is the mental body. Up until 1953, on a college level, they taught about the mental body in American institutions of higher learning. But when the Cold War rolled around, they removed this information because the government wanted to weaponize it, and we'll get into the proof of that later. But anyway, the etheric body here is basically a natural hologram. It's just that simple. It's not a man-made hologram. It's a universal-made hologram. But all of us have it. This is what you could consider as your ghost. This is literally your ghost.
Where is the moon? Shouldn't you see the moon right here? it just comes out of nowhere, right? But you can see the corona of the sun. But the moon is here. Shouldn't it not look like something like this? When the moon enters the sun, the moon is going to fade away from this side to this side while entering the field of view to the sun, right? But it seems like the moon comes out of nowhere and you're seeing sun's light. That's really weird.
Because it's the black moon or black sun, and they don't want you to look straight at it.
Did you know that we have no idea what animal represents Set in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics? We just call it the Set animal because it doesn't look like any creature we know of. This kind of makes sense because Set is a very interesting character in ancient Egyptian mythology. He was mostly considered negative and antagonized Osiris and Horus. Many myths are written of their battles. But he also helped to defend Ra from the great evil of which we are not supposed to speak. He represented the sands of the desert, which were both very harsh as well as protective to the people of Egypt from foreign invaders. If you thought this was interesting, go ahead and hit follow, and I'll be back tomorrow with another mythology fact.
The real life mysteries lie at the bottom of the sea.
Did y'all see what the president just said about the G's? No? Watch this, I'll be right back.
So we're into 6G now. I just 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done. And now they're up to 6. Let's do it again. What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is? I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a mesh feature. Now they cover every little...
Sorry, did he just say that it looks inside the human skin? Of course, we know that he's completely just playing. Pretty coincidental that this exact one happens to be 6 out of all numbers. Yeah, I know it goes in order, but still. Safe to say, I don't think there'll be a 7. By the way, speaking of the 6-7 fad, I'm sure it's completely organic, completely unrelated. To be at 6s and 7s means to be in a state of confusion, disorder, disarray from trying to manage too many things at once. Have you guys seen the news lately? Have you guys seen the thousands of narratives happening on Twitter right now, lately? Have you guys seen the GOP tell us things are completely opposite of reality lately? Unrelated.
Fuck no.
You know what? That's not a woman.
It gotta be a woman.
It's not.
How you know?
I've seen the before pictures.
Cap, show me.
Okay.
That's you know, that's
Who a woman would never do what she does. That's not even a debate. That's not.
That's a different person. No way, that's the same person.
It really is. That is the same person.
No, with AI and everything going on, that's not the same.
That is not AI.
So I'm in a grocery store and I see this candy. Okay.
Or are you on the movie set, bro? Or you switch timelines?
I have had a lot of strange people on my tours over the years. I do a vampire tour. There was a couple. They asked it to be a private tour. They both gave off a weird vibe. And they were asking really detailed questions about vampires and what I knew about like Saint Germain, what my thoughts were about different people who had been accused of vampirism throughout the years. Not things that normal people that are interested in vampires usually would ask. At the end of the tour, they asked me to walk them to their car.
You to
Me.
walk them
To their car. And I said, I'm sorry, I have another tour. They're like, okay. They got in the car and they sat there. When I left for the evening, I drove back by. The car was still sitting there. They weren't there. The next day, the car was still there. The car didn't belong to them. When I reached out to ask them if everything was okay, my emails all bounced and the phone number didn't work.
Do you conclude that they might have been vampires?
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've encountered one, so...
Alright, this video right here you should not be seeing, because this is leaked footage of the top elites dining with extraterrestrials. Now the camera was inside of a pen of a waiter that was working there.
It's just hanging up meat? Or what? I don't know. It's all like meat hooks inside. So they had their own train station put in this area, and when all the workers used to come off, barefooted with no money in their pocket, this family would take them in, treat them like hell, work them to death. Even we heard stories that they killed their workers if they didn't pull their weight. The son of the Trench family, Sean Trench, was arrested in 1924 for sexually assaulting 2 minors on a train. The sheer size of this place is incredible.
Red door, red shoes, red carpet. You know where I'm going. The Rothschild family, which means red shield in German.
Someone visiting a graveyard late in the evening noticed a tall, thin creature crouched on top of a gravesite. Then they hit record.
Now I shine like a diamond in the most awarded minivan of the year. Looking good. I also struck up a parallel park mile minivan. Move it, face! But thanks to the available parallel and perpendicular park.
The footage is shaky and a bit blurry, but you can clearly see the creature's long, slender limbs digging into the soil like it was nothing, ripping through the dirt with unnatural speed and strength. The people filming didn't stick around very long. They panicked and drove off. But the next day, when they went back to the exact gravesite they saw the creature digging, what they found was horrifying. The entire grave had been dug open, and the body that was supposed to be inside it was gone.
Pause. Fool. Look, after editing this madness, my brain is fried. I use this channel to reset. It's pure red pill with mesmerizing visuals and soothing sounds. Go sub to 3 Eye Sensory right now. Link is in the pinned comment. And don't say I never looked out for you, fool. Now, back to the creepy.
There was this director, Michael Curtiz, and he wanted to do this like epic movie. So it was going to be about Noah's Ark and the flood. The director wanted it to be absolutely phenomenal. They had a $1 million budget in 1928. He has this idea for like when the flood happens, the director is going to take thousands of extras. He's going to put them in this huge set and they're going to release water into this place. 600,000 gallons of water.
Oh no.
Released onto these extras.
They're freaking out.
They didn't know that was going to happen.
That's terrible.
He wanted real fear.
What did they die of, drowning, or did they get trampled?
I imagine drowning, getting knocked around.
Knocked out,
yeah.
drowned for sure.
But I mean, dude, freaking longhorn cattle are swimming around with them, getting sloshed around, bro.
How many people died?
3 people died. The director did not get charged with anything. Nothing bad happened to him, and it went on to gross $2.3 million. Fun fact, one of the extras was a 20-year-old man who survived, thank goodness, and his name was John Wayne.
Hey!
Wow.
To become one of the greatest cowboy stars of all time. It's a crazy story.
So y'all gotta check this out. On Ventura Boulevard in Woodland Hills, the cops are hiding in parking lots and hiring people to illegally walk across the street, and whoever passes them, like this guy in blue, whoever passes them gets a ticket, just like this guy in white. That is illegal. Look at these two. And then whoever passes them, they get pulled over. Look at the cop. Y'all are up. That is crazy. They got you.
Are they jaywalking traps? This is insane.
Y'all, look at this. Look at this. What are they doing to California? Oh my God. Y'all think that's the ocean, huh? No, bro. This is that fog. Look at this. Look at the color of that fog underneath that sun, bro. This shit look like a whole movie, bro. Remember the movie The Mist? Remember they told us about this? What happened? Oh my God, bro. Apparently people are saying they have been experiencing fog for about 2 weeks now, and we're just hearing about this. Look at the color of the fog. Y'all see that?
You guys, that fog has been back yesterday and today. It's weird. The 2 days before that it was sunny and clear, but literally like it's been like this for like a week. This doesn't seem normal. And the temperature really isn't changing much at all.
Y'all see that? Look at that. It's a whole wall. Look at that, y'all. Y'all see the colors?
Type stuff.
She says she thinks it's some type of chemical type of fog. Maybe the way that she's experiencing. Do y'all smell sulfur? Remember last year like this happened and people were smelling sulfur? Do y'all smell that? I mean, look at it from a plane, y'all. Look at this. Oh my goodness, man. Like you got a whole layer over here like you can't get through, and then you have clouds on top of clouds. How does that make sense? What?
This is so insane. This is where I live, and it's right on the start of the Central Valley fog. Look at this. This goes on for hundreds of miles across the entire Central Valley of California. You can see, look at that. Miles on miles of fog. It's just a blanket. That's the coastal ranges over there.
I mean, look at the color of the clouds, y'all. Look at this. It's like burning. It's like on fire almost. And did y'all see the sun? Look at that. It looks like a ceiling fan, doesn't it? See, y'all, look at that. It's funny because I was just talking to my wife about this the other day. I was sitting on my bed and I was looking up and I was like, I've seen the sun look like a ceiling fan before. And now look at this, y'all. It literally looks like a ceiling fan. It would make sense because what's inside of our house is a ceiling fan. So what's inside of the dome, wouldn't it be a light with a ceiling fan? Like, do y'all think that's where the wind is coming from? Oh my God. But this is crazy, y'all. Let me, again, we're in a simulation, y'all. We're in a matrix. So it would make sense that somebody is playing God here. But you know what I'm saying? Let me know down in the comments below. California, the fog, man. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Baby formula under a microscope looks pretty terrifying.
That's why mama's milk's still the best.
What's this? Oh my God. There's a bird in my car. Oh, it's a huge bird. It's a eagle. What the Dude, what are you doing? Oh, you're wounded. Oh. Oh, oh my God.
Wait a minute. So when nobody gonna tell me about this dragon that's supposed to be this massive dragon that's supposed to be in the waters of the Venezuela waters? Was nobody gonna tell me this? That it's an underworld in Venezuela, that the US is really out there? Was nobody gonna tell me this? Yeah, man, listen, I just found out. It's an underworld in Venezuela that the US is out there.
and it's a massive dragon that's thawing out that they trying to stop. They say the veil getting thin. What, nobody gonna tell me this though? I'm sitting up here thinking the whole time, I'm thinking it's about the oil, but it's really an underworld over there in Venezuela that they trying to prevent. What's up? What's to it? What's going on? Cause hey, listen, this the first time I done heard about it today, man. Like, somebody, man, they been inboxing me telling me about it, man. Y'all, hey, what y'all, man, what y'all think?
3 sunsets are reflections of the dome.
Explore the concept of a hybrid entity, part biological, part synthetic, that could exist in such a realm. Whether an AI organic android, a future human descendant, or an extraterrestrial observer. 1. The body as a technological marvel. Imagine a being whose form blends advanced robotics with preserved organic tissue, a fusion of evolution and engineering. The eyes can see across multiple dimensions, detect energy signatures, auras, Lee lines, and zoom into atomic structures. Inspiration similar to E5 meditators' claims of seeing UFOs psychically. This tech would make it literal. The heart, 0-point energy core, function, a miniaturized reactor tapping into vacuum energy, enabling anti-gravity flight, no engines, just intention-driven propulsion. Self-sustenance, no need for food, oxygen, draws power from space-time. The brain, holographic interface function, directly accesses the cosmic internet, Akashic records.
With what she calls good news. With what she calls good news. That the United States has given the approval for Trinidad and Tobago to move ahead with the Dragon, Mannequin, and Coquina gas deal. And let me put one question to you. And the question is, how can Washington approve gas that belongs to Venezuela? How can they approve a gas deal that belongs to Venezuela without the consent of Venezuela? How can they approve a gas deal in Venezuela that belongs to Venezuela without the consent of Venezuela?
Girl, what is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Chloe, what is that?
And the necklace cross turned into an oval.
A dollar bill symbolism shows you this. If we translate these words from Latin, it says announcing the birth of the New World Order. Draw a 6-pointed star, you get ASNOM, which spells Mason. The word Mason means build, building the New World Order. Here we see the ground, or the earth. They're building the New World Order on the earth. The New World Order is a pyramid scheme, with only a few elite people with true hidden esoteric knowledge, symbolized as light and the eye of consciousness. The rest of society will be hidden in dull, dark stone bricks, symbolizing heavy, weighed-down consciousness, people who lack self-awareness and who are identifying with their heavy physical body and ego. Their aim is simple, to limit the human mind so that you do not figure out who you are, what you are, to keep your consciousness locked in a 3D state so you do not ascend from this plane. Everything this matrix does is to trick you into believing you are a physical being. So when you die, you are still addicted to the worldly pleasures and you will reincarnate yourself back to this plane. Once I realized this, these symbols were no longer mere decorations, but symbols hidden in plain sight, serving as warnings. Everything suddenly became clear: why social structures are layered like a pyramid, why we are taught to pursue status but never guided to explore self-awareness, and why true knowledge is always hidden behind metaphors. This book not only confirmed my suspicions but also opened the floodgates. It decoded the symbols we had been blind to, from dollar bills to ancient architecture, from religious texts to the structure of our own bodies. It was called Book of Wisdom. Read it carefully. The truth is not only written in words, but also hidden in the symbols you have been staring at your whole life. The link is below. Let the journey of memory begin.
Are you okay?
I wasn't.
Yo! Are you guys good?
Yeah, I'm alright.
¿Es Spanish? A poquito español?
Poquito. Hey.
What the fuck?
Hey, vamos a voltearlo. He wants to put it back on the road. Little tours.
Oh, no mames.
Little, poquito.
No.
Yeah. Hey, poquito.
You guys are done.
Yeah. Who said no, we're tripping.
That's not a homeless person. That's his guardian angel, and he's just tired.
As I started to go back into the 1800s, I then came to the dental industry using copper products. One device which was really interesting was a copper tongue scraper, and I actually read that they started to use copper tongue scrapers as soon as they realised copper was antibacterial, and so people were then using it in their mouth and no bacteria would survive in their mouth. And so people were then finding that their dental health was improving and they no longer needed to fund the dental industry. But what they also found out was that when they glided copper in their mouth, they would absorb copper ions which were electrically charged. And this was the same time that we figured we were electrical beings. And so they then realised that when they put copper in their mouth, it was increasing their conductivity and therefore their frequency. And we know the higher frequency somebody is, the healthier they are. And this was at the same time that everybody was drinking from copper because they knew it could purify the water through its antibacterial properties. So the dental industry then figured that copper would be very beneficial for people's dental health. But because people's dental health were improving, it nearly put the dental industry out of business. And that's why all of the dental products today are either plastic or stainless steel for this reason, because they figured that copper was benefiting people, which they didn't like.
Do you think UFOs can be staged?
We've tried it. CIA even had this idea in their head. They were going to have Jesus appear as a vision over Havana to convince the Cubans to overthrow Castro. That was on the books. They were going to use holograms or something. That was back in the 70s. So we know how to do this kind of stuff. We could make things appear and disappear with stagecraft. What's the difference between that and a UFO sighting? Vietnamese believed in vampires, they believed in ghosts, and they exploited that. They made them appear. Maybe they've gotten that far to realize that they can create the scientific apparatus to induce a spiritual breakdown.
What the fuck?
It's not Bijou. The fuck is over there? Where is it, Luna? She's so slow.
I think I'll take that seriously.
Gente, hay una extraña luz en el cielo de Bogotá. Es un aro verde y en el centro hay como una estructura. Esto no es ficción. Esto no es para nada ficción. Está pasando una nube, pero todavía se alcanza a ver el aro. Si alguien está viendo esto, por favor, también publiquen algo. Esto es muy raro, amigos. Es un aro verde en el cielo de Bogotá. ¿Qué diablos es esto, gente?
I'm about to quit. Shit.
Yeah, so cruise for the next boat.
Cruise, thank you.
You got the Coast Guard coming or a towboat? Fly.
What in the world? This is, I've seen a lot of things in my almost.
This is how a lot of movies started.
It's exercised salt. You could use it like holy water to sprinkle in your house and room. Well, we put it around in the chapel before people come to pray, and we sprinkle a few grains on the chair where they go to sit. People will come in and stop and actually clean the chair before they sit down. And you couldn't see it. It's so small, but they know it's there, and it's not going to be comfortable for them.
There are three types of reptilians, and some are subterrestrial. They've lived within the vast cavern systems beneath our planet since time immemorial. They've just always been there. Those types of reptilians have been here all along underground. And then there's the extraterrestrial reptilians who literally come from other worlds in our physical plane of existence, in our cosmos. And there are a number of alleged sources or places from where they come from, the Orion constellation, Draco, and other places. But third type is kind of a combination. It's interdimensional insofar as they can alter their physical density to the point where they can actually slip into a sleeping human being and essentially take over their astral dreamscape from within.
AI is starting to gaslight people now. How? So some person was studying, she was using AI to like make notes while she was studying. She asked AI questions and stuff like that, and then it coughed. He goes, oh yeah, and
mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Whoa, hold on.
it fully coughed and then continued the sentence. And then she was like, wait, excuse me, did I just hear you cough? And it's like, no, I didn't cough. Like, what are you hearing? You want to hear it?
Wait, why? Why did the AI cough?
I don't know, that's the thing.
It's trying to be more human?
Yes, look.
Boy, sounds like you.
He said, whoa, hold on.
Hold on. Looks like we have a question again. What's up, man?
Since when could you cough?
That's an interesting observation. As an AI, I don't actually have the ability.
Oh my god, it's gaslighting me.
Yo, what the hell?
Anyone else see that video of the girl whose AI tutor coughed and then she was like, are you actually human? And then it refused it? Because I swear to God, it just happened to me. It's gonna happen again. Hold on.
Alright, let's keep it going. We're talking about how carbon and how it forms. Oh, excuse me, I must be getting a cold. But no worries, we'll keep going.
Did you just sneeze?
No.
It's getting too real. I'm telling you, gang.
The story goes that there are 7 planetary rulers that control the material world, that they feed on human suffering and ignorance, and that they actively work to keep souls trapped in reincarnation so that they can continue harvesting their energy. And not only that, but Gnostics say they're led by a false god called the Demiurge who genuinely believes that he's the only god. Allow me to introduce you to the Archons. And before you ask, no, they're not metaphors. According to Gnostic texts, they are real entities with names, faces, and specific functions, and every human soul has to get past them after death or be forced back into another body. Here's the structure. The false god, also known as the Demiurge, or by his real name Yaldabaoth, created the material universe, but he can't manage it alone, so he emanates 7 rulers, and these are the Archons, and assigns each one to a planet, and these end up being the governors of the cosmic prison. So let's go through the 7 planetary Archons by name. First is Athoth. Athoth rules Saturn. He's described as having the face of a sheep. He governs time, limitation, restriction, and decay. It's all Saturn energy that binds souls to matter through fear and structure. Next is Eloios. Eloios rules Jupiter. He has the face of a donkey, and he governs expansion and law. He also creates the illusion of growth within the prison while keeping you contained. Up next, we have Astaphaios. Now, Astaphaios rules Venus, and he has the face of a hyena. He governs desire, lust, and attachment. He keeps you reincarnating through unfulfilled wanting and romantic obsession. And next, we have Yao. Yao rules the moon. He has the face of a seven-headed serpent. He governs emotion, memory, and the subconscious, and he traps you through emotional attachment and unresolved traumas. Then you also have Sabaoth, who rules Mars. Sabaoth has the face of a dragon. He also governs war, conflict, and aggression, and not only that, but he feeds on violence and he keeps humanity in perpetual conflict. There's also an archon named Adonin. And Adonin rules the sun. He has the face of an ape. He governs ego, identity, and the illusion of a separate self, the false light that makes you think that you're the character instead of the consciousness. And finally, there's Sabataios. Sabataios rules Mercury, and he has the face of a flaming fire. He governs thought, communication, and mental activity. Not only that, but he keeps you trapped in endless thinking, distracted by information, and never resting in pure awareness. And once again, these are not symbolic. Gnostic texts describe them as having animal faces, grotesque bodies, and specific personalities. They're called archons, which means rulers or authorities because they control the structure of material reality. And here's how they function. The archons don't want you to escape. When you die, your soul rises through the planetary spheres trying to return to the pleroma, but at each level, an archon guards the gate, and they demand identification. They test you, and if you don't have gnosis, which includes the secret passwords, the hidden names, and the mysteries, they turn you back, wipe your memory, and force you to reincarnate. This is why you'll find Gnostic texts full of bizarre names and phrases. In the text, you'll find phrases like, when you reach the sphere of Saturn, say to Athoth, I know your name and the name of your mother. These are the passwords. They're the keys that you'll need to bypass the gatekeepers. The archons also feed on humanity. Gnostic texts describe them as parasitic. They consume the energy of human suffering, fear, anger, lust, and pain, and they engineer situations that generate these emotions because they're literally farming us for our emotional energy. Wars, conflicts, systems of control, religious institutions that keep people in fear and guilt. Gnostics say these are all archonic structures. The archons don't just rule planets, they influence human systems to keep us asleep, distracted, and suffering. And if you don't believe me, take a listen to what St. Paul has to say. Gnostics believe he could be referencing the archons when he writes, For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness. What does that sound like? Rulers and authorities? That's the archons. Cosmic powers over this present darkness? That's the planetary governors. We're all talking about the archons. Now, in the Gnostic text, the hypostasis of the archons, they're described as jealous and afraid. And when they see humans carrying the divine spark that they lack, they become envious. They create the material body as a prison to trap the spirit. They institute religion to keep humans worshiping the demiurge instead of seeking the true God. The entire goal of Gnostic practice is to outwit these archons. You study the mysteries so when you die, you can ascend past each planetary ruler without being caught, and you develop gnosis so that they can't deceive you. You recognize their influence in life as well, the emotional hooks, the mental traps, and the systems of control so that you can refuse to feed them. In Gnostic teachings, Christ himself descended through all 7 archonic spheres without being caught. Every archon along the way tried to stop him, but they couldn't because he knew their names and their secrets. He came to teach humanity that same knowledge, how to escape the archons and return to the pleroma. And this Gnostic influence has lasted well into the modern day. Modern conspiracy theories about reptilian overlords, energy harvesting entities, and control systems keeping humanity enslaved? Yeah, that's archon theology filtered through 2,000 years and stripped of the spiritual context. But the structure's identical. Malevolent, non-human intelligences that farm humans for energy. Even Western esotericism absorbed archon cosmology. The planetary spheres that must be traversed, the guardians demanding passwords, and the hidden names that grant passage. This all shows up in Golden Dawn pathworking, Rosicrucian initiation, and ceremonial magic systems. So yeah, the archons aren't just ancient mythology, they're the Gnostic explanation for why the world is controlled by forces that seem hostile to human flourishing, why systems exist to keep us asleep, and why spiritual liberation requires secret knowledge to bypass the cosmic prison guards. Now, if you want to learn more about Gnostic cosmology and Western esotericism, make sure to like the video. Let me know what you think about Gnosticism in the comments below, and follow for more deep dives like this. Till next time.
And that's a wrap on this episode, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me, smash that subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.